What's up everyone, my name is Kelsey. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing an original tag video. This tag was created in collaboration with Desmond over at Dwight Books. We're both pretty excited about the newest book in the Hunger Games series, so we put together some prompts that are Hunger Games and Songbirds and Snakes themed, just to get more excited, you know? I'm going to link his channel and his video in the description below so you can go check his stuff out. And I think I'm just gonna get right into the prompts. So, number 1, dystopian is dead? No way. Recommend a book set in a dystopian society. So for this one, I have The Fever King by Victoria Lee. And this book is set in a dystopian future where magic and a disease have divided the US into, smaller territories, leaving much of the continent uninhabitable because of the infection. So it takes place in New Carolina and follows our main character, Gnome, after he is infected with this disease and survives. And all of the survivors of this disease are gifted, for lack of a better word, with magical abilities. This series is so good. Like, in the interest of full disclosure, today I finished the second book in the series. I requested an arc from NetGalley and they actually gave it to me. It's the first arc I've ever been granted. And it was like, it blew my freaking mind. But the first book is a dystopian and it is such a great setup to this world and how it got to this point, the politics leading to it, and the manipulation of some of the political leaders. So good. So good. Question 2. Volunteer as tribute. If you could swap places with a main character in any book and take on the burden of their story, who would you choose? Okay, and questions like this are always hard for me because I tend to read books where terrible things happen to the main characters, and as much as I enjoy reading about those stories, I don't really want to participate. Luckily, sometimes I read fluffy contemporary YA stories. So for this one, I went with Beck from Going Off Script by Jen Wild, and this follows Bex as she gets a job as an intern as a writer on one of her favorite TV shows. I would take that. That sounds like fun to me. Question 3, Peeta or Gale? How about neither? Name a book with a romance you could have done without, or a book where the main character would have been better off alone. Editing Kelsey jumping in here because I forgot to mention that the reason I came up with this question is that Rosie Thor, the author of Tarnished Are the Stars, did this amazing thread a few months ago, rereading the Hunger Games with the headcanon that Katniss is asexual and aromantic. The thread is amazing, so I'm going to link it in the description and you should definitely check it out. She takes pictures of textual evidence and applies it to real life. It's amazing. So for this one, I'm cheating a little bit because I'm picking a book that I didn't enjoy at all, and that is A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Cluess. This is sort of like an alternate history where magic is a thing, but the main character has a love interest in this book, and the romance I just didn't understand because these two characters, I mean, I feel like it was written to be a sort of hate to love thing, but unsuccessfully, because there was just no back and forth. Like, good hate to love, there's hate on both sides justifiably. In this book, it's like the love interest dude was a dick and the other girl just had to take it because she was new and had less power in the situation. I don't know. It was not for me. Question 4. Let's get this bread. Name a fictional career you would love to have. So for this one, I have The Abyss Surrounds Us by Emily Skrutsky, and the career I would love to have is as a reckoner. So the main character in this book, Cass, is a reckoner, and what they do is basically they raise and train these giant genetically engineered sea creatures in order to protect cargo ships and cruise ships across the Pacific Ocean because of the resurgence of pirates. And that just sounds like a dope job to me. Like, I would love to do that. She basically bonds with one of these creatures from the time it's a baby, and then like they just grow together. And of course, Cass's story ends pretty tragically, but most of the time they don't end tragically, and I would hope for that. Question 5, The Victors. Pick 2 characters from different books that would be from the same district and end up winning the games together. So for this, I actually have these books. Brand from The Last Sun by Katie Edwards. He is just super capable, always thinking ahead. He would do great at all the challenges in the games. He's great with weapons and technology, so he would be really good at that nitty-gritty survival stuff. And the other person would be Mustang from the Red Rising trilogy by Pierce Brown. She is just an amazing person all around. Not only in her survival skills, she's super intelligent, but she's also idealistic, but not in a naive way. just in a hopeful way. And she's also great with the political scheming. So I feel like Bran's practicality and Mustang's political skills would get them through the games. Question 6, the Mockingjay. Pick a character from a book you feel could fill Katniss's shoes as the Mockingjay and help lead the rebels. For this, I'm going with Anna Thatcher from Tarnished Are the Stars by Rosie Thor. In a lot of ways, Anna and Katniss have a lot in common. They're both from, they both kind of reject mainstream society and live on the fringe. They're both very protective of their families, and they both understand and see the need for a rebellion in the societies that they live in. When I post this video, this book will have released yesterday, so you should definitely check that out. I plan on doing like a reasons to read kind of review type video of it. Question 7, Cinna, Prim, Rue, Finnick, Cressida, Pollux. There are so many amazing side characters in the Hunger Games. Name a side character in any book that you would love a full series about. So for this one, I'm going with, kind of cheating. Okay, Alucard Emery from the Shades of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. And he kind of becomes a main character later in the series. Either way though, I would read a whole trilogy from Alucard Emery's perspective. There's just something about his character I find so interesting. The complex relationships with his family especially, and just the way he interacts with the other characters, his relationship with Delilah and Rye of course. And there's kind of a possibility that it could happen because there is going to be another trilogy in this world following new characters. So I have hope, it could happen. Question 8, the arena. There have been 75 Hunger Games, all with different settings and challenges. Name a book with a super immersive setting. So for this one, I'm going with another recent read, The Monster of Elendhaven by Jennifer Geisbrecht. This is a short novella, but the way it's written and the world in this book just come to life the way she writes. It's very creepy, and like the city or town that they're in almost feels alive the way she describes it. It's just so well done. This book follows two monsters basically in a plot for revenge. It's very dark, very gruesome, a very disturbed love story if you're into that. And our last question, question 9, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. If you could choose one book to get a prequel written about it, what would it be? This was surprisingly hard to pick because I don't normally care about prequels at all. They have to be set a certain distance in the past, otherwise, why would I want to go backwards in a story's timeline? Know what I mean? Which is one of the reasons I'm interested in Songbirds and Snakes, because it's set so far back in the story that I really have no idea how that particular story arc is going to end. So for this prompt, I chose Sawkill Girls by Claire Legrand. This is about an island that there's a legend that a monster kidnaps and kills teenage girls, and it's been going on for a long time. So I think it would be really interesting to go back into this world, into this island in the past. I can't remember how long this has been happening, but I'm pretty sure it's at least 100 years. So there's some room for storytelling in the past, I feel like. And I would definitely read it because I love Claire Legrand's writing style, and I loved this book in particular. All right, those are all the prompts for the Songbirds and Snakes book tag. Of course, if you want to do this tag, go for it. No restriction. Oh shit, I didn't write down anyone to tag. Let's just go through my subscription list real quick and see what I can find. Okay, I'm going to tag. Shit, I really should have done this in advance because I don't know if any of these people are Hunger Games fans. So I'm gonna go with Miss Coco Chen. And why is this so stressful? Okay, sorry in advance if I tag you and you don't care about Hunger Games in the least bit, but I'll also tag Brews and Books, Annalisa Eli, and I feel like I should get one more. Jelly Fable. Okay, like I said, if you want to do this tag, go for it. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more, subscribe. I post book-related videos every Wednesday. If you want to keep talking, you can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Kelsey Reads or Goodreads at Kelsey Lynn Reads. Otherwise, I'll see you next week.